I remember the first day the Help Hub was open. The needs were tremendous. People were lined up along 4th Street.
The phone was going in both directions. People that needed help, but people that wanted to give help. We didn't have the ceiling. We didn't have the limits. We didn't have all the structure. We just said, we want the dream to go.
When I arrived here in Wilmington at First Baptist Church, we had a fund that was called the Pastor's Discretionary Fund, which I had responsibility for, and I could use that to assist people who had financial need. Sometimes the financial need was so great that we could not do it by ourselves. And so these people were having to lose all their dignity, and they would go from church to church to church in order to have their need met.
I saw what my minister at First Presbyterian was going through. People would keep coming to him for help, but there was no way that we kept who got help and how they got it or what they got. And we needed that.
So what we did is started the conversation. And what we realized is when we pull it together and we had one central location where they could send whoever was in need and needed some help or needed some conversation with what they were going through, then we could probably do a better job with that. And I remember Sonia, who is now the director of the Help Hub, had drawn out this picture of a wheel with spokes. And she said, the hub just spoke to me, is how do we help? Come in as a center, but then we go out, we reach out. And I think it was unanimous at that point. We are the Help Hub.
And by 2015, we collaborated as First Baptist Church, St. James Episcopal Church, and First Presbyterian Church. We were the founding churches or founding partners of what today is the Help Hub. There are lots of issues that affect people's lives. And when they come to the Help Hub, those needs are met. When counselors meet them, assess the situation, make sure that it's a legitimate need, and then the checks that are written or the money that's used goes directly to service providers to meet the needs of people.
It wasn't just quick, come in, what do you need? Here's a check. We wanted them to sit down with us. We wanted to hear their story. We wanted to know what was going on. And then we would know how to help them.
The way that the Help Hub is set up to meet the needs of our community is very beneficial. At Health and Human Services, we do not provide financial assistance, so we have to refer out to our partners for our community to receive the services that they are seeking. One of the beautiful things about the Help Hub is this centralized location. By it being located within the Harrelson Center, it's able to connect to other partners within that community. And it's able to do that in a very non-stressful, removing barrier type of way. The Help Hub is people-centered, period, full stop. So that means I meet you, I welcome you, I see you in all those spaces. And that's how Health and Human Services and what we do here, that's how we blend in and why it's a perfect marry for us, because that's how we work with our community.
So many times people come in and you can tell they're just dejected by their body language, by what they say. I mean, there's tears many a time. And then they get back there with one of the volunteers and really sit down eye to eye with someone, tell their trouble, just sort of get it off their chest. And some of our volunteers will pray with them or just really let them spill their guts and tell what's going on and just make them feel better. I have had so many times people come out, like give a hug to their advisor and say, thank you. And they might have walked out with nothing tangible, but it was just that time to share.
I actually personally had to come to the Help Hub and receive services. I was a single mother and I was in the process of finishing my academics at that time, and things was just, tough. What Help Hub did for me is they met me in that space right there, where it's that last straw moment. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to navigate in that space. And so they were able to help eliminate that stress that I had at that time and allow me to refocus.
The Help Hub has been a really crucial partner in times of disaster. We have a very resourceful, rich community, but we all have niche areas. But no one entity can do everything. We had a lot of apartment complexes that were income-based closed after Hurricane Florence. So we had to find housing and then get moving assistance, refurnish because they had lost all of their furniture, get first month's rent and deposits paid, utility deposits, etc. And all those things cost money. All those things require resources. So Catholic Charities, the Help Hub, along with other organizations, are really able to come together in one singular meeting and make a family whole.
Community Care of the Lower Cape Fear's partnership with the Help Hub has extended our reach into the community by truly meeting people where they're at. People are able to come into a place where they're already receiving care or services and then get enhanced services by talking to one of our nurses. August of 2025 also represents 5 years of CCLCF being in the Help Hub. So it's a very special year for us as well. And in that 5 years, we have worked with over 1,500 referrals. So that means 1,500 individuals that may not have had access to healthcare navigation or had their questions answered or know where to go to have been able to use our services. So one of my favorite stories that I will not stop telling, and it gives me goosebumps every time I tell it, is a story of a young woman who came to the Help Hub for a financial need and then also let the advisor know that she had 1 day left of her insulin and she was a type 1 diabetic. That means she must have insulin in order to survive. And so what the Help Hub and our nurse did is they worked together with the local pharmacy and a local office, and within 24 hours, this individual got a primary care appointment, got a new prescription for insulin, and was able to pick up the prescription at no cost.
We got introduced to the Help Hub, I believe it was somewhere around August or September of 2023. Elisa was our customer, and she works at the Help Hub. And she called me one day and said, I've got someone who I'd like to send to get some work. Would you basically help them? And that's how we started. A lot of times the vehicles we would take in a lot of cases would need a lot of work. So we did a lot of maintenance and repair on a lot of vehicles. There were days where we would work on as many as say 3 or 4 Help Hub vehicles in a day. It meant a lot for us as far as being able to be, I think, more consistent. It definitely had an effect on our business in a positive way.
As Harrelson Center staff and Help Hub staff really started to dig into the data of who they were serving, they realized that essentially every person coming through the Help Hub either was coming as a direct result of their housing crisis, or they are now in a housing crisis because something else fell apart in their life. So the goal was really to identify not just a program that could fill a really needed gap, but also what the right marriage of financial assistance and case management would be to make sure that we were actually lifting people out of their crisis. And that's really where Nikki comes in. So she's providing not just first month's rent or a security deposit, but the navigation through that web of what's available out there and holding people's hands through a very scary and intimidating process, whether that's navigating a relationship with a landlord or helping identify a new place to live. She's there through all of that. So it's not a one-time transaction. It's really a relationship built over time.
Asking for help is hard. Asking for help is so hard. The heaviest lift is gonna be that front door, going in to ask for help. Once you cross that door and then you're valued and validated as a human being, there's nothing better than that.
We have services that are being cut from a federal perspective. So you're having a lot more people who are getting plugged into services previously than years past. And so it's just the climate and the time that we're in. But fortunately, Help Hub is there to be able to be that lift to assist those during this particular time.
Today I received financial assistance to help me pay my rent.
Full-time worker, but had some circumstances, and I just needed a little help.
Today's a good day because things have been resolved and I won't have to be homeless. Thank God for the help.
Thank you, Help Hub.
Thank you so much, Help Hub.
Thank you, Help Hub.
The people that come our way, many of them are coming for the first time now because there are lots of people living in crisis. And the Help Hub meets these people, offers to them an opportunity to hear their story, and then does the best that we can to meet their need. The Help Hub represents you and me, each one of us. And through the Help Hub, we're able to live out Jesus' commission, to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. I hope you'll join me and my family and our church and other people in our community in giving generously in order to meet the needs of our neighbors during a time of great need.
Thank you so much for all the help that you give us with Operation Pretty Things and the clients that come into us.
I'd like to thank Help Hub for assisting our clients with the resources that they have.
Thank you, Help Hub, so much for allowing us to send clients to you so that we could be of service to our community.
I appreciate everything you do and everything you do for me and everybody else around here. I appreciate it.